there.
Harder?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. All right. And whenever you're ready.
Hello, my name is Josh Calhoun.
I'm Brock Thompson.
I'm Zach Peterson. I'm Joe. How y'all doing today? Yeah, talking about mind about all that for a second. Professor, those are some nice pants. You mind if I borrow?
Yeah, you get some gaffer tape instead.
Hey, it's coming back.
So, a quick demonstration of what economics kind of is. You go through life and ask for a whole bunch of things, and you'll probably get the answer yes a lot of the time. There are, however, times we're going to be told no. We'll hide things from you. Some people aren't nearly as exhibitionist as a professor, so they'll tell you no if you ask for their pants. This creates a conflict between you and the other person. Dr. Finswin on Monday talked about how conflict is inherent in economics. That's kind of half the picture. The other half is that economics is actually the solution to that conflict. If I'd wanted the professor's pants truly and he wasn't willing to give them to me, I could have told him I'll give you $100 and I'll pick them up tomorrow. Mutually beneficial to both of us. Probably would have said yes. As things progress into 2050, you will see the increasing wealth of the Asian countries actually lift everybody's boats. Much like in the 20th century, how the United States economy took off. You saw advances in technology, medicine, and education. You'll see those things as well. Now, in order to prove that, of course, we need to actually speak about GDP and GDP per capita, more importantly. GDP is a big number. You heard other folks talk about it. As you go into researching it, you'll find that come 2050, this slide might be familiar to you. This is actually a graph that Dr. Woods used in his own presentation. You see that China's GDP is almost double that of the United States at this point in time. That's scary. They're going to be huge, right? The problem with this is that economists don't judge countries by GDP. It kind of is, it's a great barometer on how the economy of a country is going, but it doesn't tell you how the people are actually doing. In order to do that, you have to talk about population. This here is from the UN. This is total world population, and if Zach will scroll down a little bit and go to, say, China, you can see where China is projected to be as far as their population goes. And you'll notice that they plan on peaking, and they'll be on the down slope about 2050, but they'll still be right around probably 1.4 billion people. That's a whole bunch of people. You take that divided by their GDP, and you get GDP per capita, which is where we actually come to this slide. Well, that's the GDP level. There it is. As you can see, GDP per capita, the United States is still well ahead of everybody else. We're over $80,000 come 2050. That's what most people will be making. China, clear down there. They're still about 40,000, about where we are right now. Now that's not bad, but it's not as good as we're going to be doing. And what do people do when they have a whole bunch of money in their pocket? Well, they tend to buy things like new gadgets, and that's where technology comes in.
So I'm going to first talk about how technology will affect day-to-day lives in the future. So first off, I just have a source, and I'm going to pull some facts from it. So basically, I found out that the rate of technology adoption and its per capita income. Sorry, I got off on top. So there's just basically some facts where the longer the period of lack of technology being introduced into a society equals the lower per capita income. Also, there's extensive and intensive margins, and extensive is how long it takes a country to adopt the technology, and intensive is the extent to which technology is adopted as a whole. And also, there's a study that says 70% of differences in cross-country per capita income can be explained by differences in technology adoption. the mobile revolution of technology and how basically it has affected us and will continue to affect us.
Technical difficulties, sorry.
Okay, well anyways, so there was a chart that I was gonna pull up, but basically there's just some facts about how it's created a bunch of jobs, 11 million jobs. There was some facts on the revenue and contribution to the GDP. And there also has been 3 billion subscriptions in less than 15 years, and it's gonna continue to grow and affect us. And the last, my favorite, is technology on the medical field. So basically, this is just a bunch of studies and also theories and things that have been developed or are being developed. And there's just a bunch of different things that are going to help us in just many different ways. I picked a couple of my favorite, which are repairing and manipulating DNA, synthetic organs, artificial immune system, caregiving robots, and like bionic implants, because that would be really cool to have like robotic arms and be all strong and stuff. And yeah, there's just a bunch of other cool ideas. So basically, as technology is becoming more advanced, the requirement for education will be necessary to apply these new ideas into a global presence.
And I did education, so I took a look at what universities will look like in 2050. So basically, we're going to not be having universities anymore. Everything's going to be, you have to have a Wi-Fi connection and a camera at your house to go to school. So basically, yeah, go ahead. Then what the education system will look like, basically, it's not going to be the stereotypical Asians are really smart in math or other stuff like that. So everyone will be doing the same exact math, like all the same sciences, everything like that. And this was actually a YouTube video that someone did. So this is right where it says that like from Tokyo to New York, everyone's going to be doing the same math and stuff like that. And then how many people will be going on to school in India versus let's go down to the first one. So this is the Korea. So this is college right here. So the peak right about here in the 2050 is going to start going down slowly. Go down. Go down. Okay. And then so this is India. So you can see how it's just slowly just peaked up pretty high. We're going on to college. And so as people get more educated, the better the
life expectancy. So with technology and education, obviously you're going to have further advancements in the medical field, which is like this. That's a printed organ that they could print in like 20 minutes out of your own stem cells with 3D printers. So things like that from the technology are going to lead to your own organs being there, and basically it extends your life. So we could see like people living up to 100 years old by the time we hit 2050 is what some people say. And it also comes from disease control too. As like the medical field gets farther, we see that they're able to understand like diseases more. Like now we don't see as many like scarlet fever and all that has kind of gone away from our better understanding of diseases and stuff. So that's continuing, and outbreaks are getting less and less, so that'll lead to better lives. And then the last one is better living conditions. We're seeing like third world countries become better in their like having toilets like Mahbubani talks about, and then also a big one is clean water. As that spreads, you get less diseases and people are living healthier, they have more, and it just all leads to people living longer. And yeah, like so as people are living longer, they're going to have more time to be like healthier, because when they're 60, they're going to be able to do a lot more than what a 60-year-old can do now, which is going to lead to them being able to work longer and have more time to earn money.
Which brings us back to GDP and GDP per capita and how important those two numbers actually are.
Now, please keep in mind, we're not talking utopian society here. Advances in technology will solve a lot of problems, but it'll also bring a lot of ethical and moral problems along with it, as we've seen throughout history. Advances in technology, or advances in the number of people being educated, will bring us new ideas to solve long-standing problems, but unless we have courageous leaders to implement those ideas, nothing's going to change. Advances in medicine will, of course, help prolong human life, but if the cost of that medicine is too expensive, nobody's going to be able to afford it. So again, we're not talking utopian society here, but it does give us a chance. As GDP and GDP per capita rises in the East, it gives us a chance. And that's a good place to be. Thank you.
I didn't beat that many. You guys gotta have a question for this group, at least one.
Yes.
That was a question. Something else? Anybody? Yeah.
You said people living to be like 100, like there's people who live to be 100 now. Is that
But
just
more
going to be like
consistent.
the more norm versus people dying like 70
Yeah,
or 90 now?
it goes back to like that video we watched in class where it's like the average age of the person living, and like that's supposed to go up towards like nearly 90 years old.
Do you think America in general is in the future?
It's more of a mindset for us. Right now, we're so stuck in the fact that they're supposed to be communists that we don't actually realize that they're actually a capitalist country. And as capitalism, you know, we can compete with anybody when it comes to capitalism. We just haven't got that mindset yet as far as our political leaders and the public goes. Once we do, I think we'll be just fine. We can compete with anybody.
So you think that change should happen?
It should. You know, I mean, we're being educated on China right now, what it actually is, and I'm pretty sure that none of us are all that